Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now, Bungie have just dropped an extremely short 33-second teaser which briefly shows the Reef ahead of their live stream they're going to be doing tomorrow, in which they're going to be giving us a complete tour of the Reef, plus also going through the upgrade paths for weapons and gear. And despite the fact that the video is only 33 seconds long, they actually showed a hell of a lot. So, with that in mind, I am now going to give you a complete rundown.
The Wrath of the Queen welcomes you, Guardian. You are cleared to dock at the Queen's Bay.
So, the video begins with 3 ships flying down into the Reef and some voiceover saying that the Queen's Wrath welcomes you and that you are clear to dock in the Queen's Bay, which we know is the name of the second social space in the Reef. Then the next 3 scenes show what looks like the hangar bay. In the very first one you can see some ships lined up on the side, plus this little awning on the left, which is probably where you'll see some sort of vendor. The second scene is then simply a Guardian walking across a walkway, which is probably exiting the hangar bay. And the third scene is also a look up on the elevated platform, but if you look in the background you'll see there's this digital board, which is akin to that of the one that appears behind Xander, the bounty guy in the tower, and there's also a closer look at that awning, which probably looks like it's got another vendor down there. After the social space splash screen, you then see this fallen, almost shaman looking guy with a big staff. He stands there, and obviously this indicates that we will indeed be sharing this social space with some of the fallen. If you then pause on the next frame, you then get to see the area we just saw, but from the other angle, and we actually get to see some pretty interesting things here. Over to the right is that digital looking board I spoke about, the one that looks like the board that appears behind the bounty guy. On the right you can still see that awning. If you look all the way into the background, you can actually see what looks like the emblem for the Queen, or for the Queen's Wrath, and then over to the left hand side it looks like there's another pathway going off of there. Moving on from there, we then get a first look at one of the new characters. Now the character to the far left, this is one of the Queen's emissaries that we saw back when the Queen's Wrath event appeared in the tower, plus these are also the characters, or the guards, that we saw that were killed in the original teaser trailer. This main character here with the eye patch, however, I reckon with her she's probably going to be like our equivalent to, say, Arekkz for example, because I very much doubt, given that the Queen is, you know, royalty, I doubt that we'll actually be going to her specifically for a lot of our missions. So I would imagine this is, say, her right-hand man or right-hand lady, so to speak. Moving on from there, we then get another look at that character I spoke about before, the shaman looking fallen. He's got this feathery kind of sort of like scarf around him, he's got a staff, so he's clearly going to be a character we engage with. It could well be possible that he too will give us some sort of quests, and he might even have his own faction or his own kind of, say, reputation system that we could then earn and obviously kind of like work towards and potentially get items from him. Obviously that we will find out tomorrow. After that, we then get a look at another new character who, at very first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's like a Cryptarch, but if you look at the colour cloaks and the emblems around him and on the floor, this is clearly a member of the Osiris clan. Could this be the person we go to buy that Osiris coin from, which is one of the methods you can use to gain access to the Trials of Osiris, or maybe he's someone we can go to buy gear from. Either way, again, we will soon find out more, but he's definitely part of the Osiris clan. After that, you get a look at that board that I was speaking about again. This looks exactly like the board that appears behind Xander in the tower, and if you cast your mind back to when the Queen's Wrath event first came around, you'll remember that Xander also gave us the Queen's Bounties. So I would imagine this time round they'll probably split them out, so you would then go to Xander on the tower to get your Vanguard and Crucible Bounties, but you would then go to maybe Xander, whatever he's called, like 45 here or something like that, to then get the next set of bounties. Beyond that, we then get to see another one of the robot guys. He'll probably be a vendor for some kind of weapon or gear, sort of like equipment thing like that. But it could also be that the tower and the Reef have different sets of armor and different sets of weapons, which could be really cool. Right now we obviously have Crucible gear and Vanguard gear, but it would be cool if you could also, say, get the Queen's gear or the Reef gear from him. And then this, my friends, is the exciting thing. So as we saw before in the picture that Bungie put out, they showed a picture of a Fatebringer being upgraded from 300 attack to 365, which is the new attack stat cap. What you'll see here, however, is that if you play through slowly, you'll see that all of the weapons appear to have an additional node. You then click on this node or purchase the upgrade, however it works, and that weapon then gets upgraded. But there's more, it's not just the weapon. Take a look at this. The next scene shows the Cuirass of the Hezon Lords, which is the Warlock chest from the Vault of Glass, also being upgraded. And after that, the Deathsinger's Gaze, which is a helmet from Crota's Raid, also being upgraded. Shortly after that, Cabo's Forceful Greaves, which are the Titan legs from the Vault of Glass. And after that, you get to see a rather interesting scene, which is a level 34 Titan, which is going to be the new level cap, wearing nothing but Vault of Glass gear, indicating that you can now reach the level cap with the Vault of Glass gear. That, my friends, is super exciting. That is amazing news, and this is also amazing for Destiny's future. See, one thing that I said before is that it was a shame that every single time you reach the level cap, so for example, all level 32s right now are either wearing full Crota's End raid gear or Iron Banner gear, and then obviously the only deviation is really their exotic. So for the most part, everybody looks the same. Now, knowing that we can upgrade Vault of Glass gear, we can upgrade Crota's End gear, we can also get Trials of Osiris gear, and there will be gear from the Prison of Elders. That is currently 4 different ways we can reach level 34. I would assume this would also extend to the Iron Banner, so that's a 5th way, and the other thing that we don't yet know is whether this upgrade system is restricted to just raid gear, or whether it's any legendary gear in general. Which would mean we could then take vendor gear and actually make it viable, which would be awesome. I mean, some of the vendor gear right now looks absolutely amazing, but I just can't use it. You know, you get to the point where it can get you to level 31, but it can't get you to level 32. So if you can upgrade any legendary gear, that would be simply amazing, but even if you can't, this now lays the foundations for 5 different potential endgame gear sets, which means you can now mix it. You could take a Vault of Glass helmet, a chest from Crota's End raid, the legs from Iron Banner, and finally people will start looking different. This, my friends, is awesome. And that is pretty much it. After that we get a scene panning back down into what looks like the hangar bay again, just so we can see it from a different angle. It then quickly flicks again to this main character here, so this clearly indicates she's going to be quite important. And then it takes us to the final screen, which does have a little bit more information. As I said, the live stream is happening tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 22nd of April, and it happens at 11 AM Pacific, which is 7 PM BST for those of you in the UK. And that, my friends, is it. As I said, it was a 33-second video, but in that video it contained a hell of a lot of information. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Maybe I missed something, maybe there's something I haven't spoken about. Either way, let me know what you think about all of this stuff. And also make sure you tune in tomorrow, and if you do want to stay up to date, then make sure you follow me on Twitter, because I will be posting not only when the stream is about to go live, but obviously also throughout, and obviously once it's finished, I'll have a complete breakdown for you guys then. But otherwise, that is it, so thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.